Seems that President Trump is not happy with the Supreme Court justices he nominated. Multiple sources tell CNN that the president has been privately complaining about Justices Gorsuch, Barrett, and Kavanaugh. CNN's Kristen Holmes is live at the White House with her reporting. Kristen, this is so interesting, particularly what you have learned about his focus really zeroing in on Amy Coney Barrett.
Yeah, that's right, Dana. So we have heard from multiple sources that Donald Trump has complained about all three of the people that he appointed to the Supreme Court bench, but much of that ire has been focused on Amy Coney Barrett, his most recent hire. And it's not just one ruling, a series of rulings. And a lot of this has been fueled by Trump's allies on the far right, who have argued to him that she is quote unquote weak, that she is not presenting herself in these rulings the way that she presented herself in interviews to get the job back in 2020. And some of these allies have even speculated that part of the reason that she is ruling the way that she is because of menacing threats against her and her family. Just in March, her sister was targeted with a bomb threat, and that has caused President Trump to speculate if things would be easier for Amy Coney Barrett, if she had more security. Now, the White House, we reached out to them for a statement. They essentially didn't disagree with the reporting. This is what they said. They said President Trump will always stand with the Supreme Court, unlike the Democratic Party, which, if given the opportunity, would pack the court, ultimately undermining its integrity. The president may disagree with the court and some of its rulings, but he will always respect its foundational role. So clearly they're saying he might not be happy, but he is going to abide by and respect the court. Big question there that we've all been wondering since so many of his agenda items are going to the Supreme Court.
You just took the words out of my mouth. I mean, one of the reasons with this matters so much right now at this moment with this president is the very deliberate strategy to try to push the line, cross the line, and hope that the Supreme Court, which includes justices he appointed, stand by him. So we'll see how that goes. Before I let you go, Kristen, I do want to ask about some of the reporting that we just got in, that Laura Loomer, who is a far-right activist, among the conspiracies that she has been peddling is that 9/11 was an outside job. Inside job, that 9/11 was an inside job, forgive me. She's at the White House, or at least she's been there again recently, meeting with the vice president?
Yeah, just earlier today, she sat down and had a private meeting with Vice President J.D. Vance. Now, we are told she's not scheduled to meet with President Trump, but there is a reason why, of course, this is so fascinating. Last time she was here at the White House, Donald Trump fired much of the National Security Council staff because of Loomer's complaints about them. She had essentially shown up with a dossier of information that she said that these were not people who were loyal to the president. She has been on somewhat of a tangent online, criticizing multiple agencies within the government, saying that they did not pick people who were loyal to the president. But one interesting fact on all of this is since then, Laura Loomer has found herself kind of on the outs with some of Donald Trump's closest allies because of the fact that she criticized the present of the plane from Qatar to the government, to the Trump administration, saying that they shouldn't be accepting that as a gift. It actually caused her to publicly apologize, but we're still waiting to see more information on what exactly she was discussing when she sat down with Vance.
Wow. Well, we look forward to the reporting that you get on that. Really important development there. Thank you so much for all of that reporting, Kristen, as always.
CNN has learned, Senator, that President Trump has privately complained that the Supreme Court justices he appointed are not sufficiently standing behind his agenda, and that he has directed particular ire at Justice Amy Coney Barrett. What does that tell you about how Trump views the role of the Supreme Court?
I think President Trump profoundly misunderstands the role of the federal judiciary, which is to be politically neutral and to deliver their judgments on laws and on legal actions and on decisions by the president in what they view as a fair and independent reading of our Constitution and the laws. The idea that just because he nominated certain judges to federal courts or even the Supreme Court, that they should always support his agenda is just flat out wrong. Ahistorical, unconstitutional, arguably dangerous.
Senator Chris Coons of Delaware, thanks so much for joining us.